Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. I've had some questions recently from people about the Patron program, what it is and what it offers. Basically kicking tires and seeing if they would like to join. I haven't discussed it in full thorough detail in quite a while. The channel continues to grow and I typically only talk about small parts of it at a time, usually the sealed sales. So the complete rundown of the Patron program as it currently stands in early 2025. First off, you get the monthly newsletter. I write this every month. I typically publish it near the end of the month. It usually pertains to a TCG finance topic, but sometimes it can kind of run further afield of that to things that are basically too far outside the scope of this channel or that I worry would be censored over here on YouTube. So I write that and publish it for my patrons to read. Second, you get real-time buy notifications. Every time I purchase a TCG product for long-term hold, I tell my patrons about it. I tell them what I bought, where I bought it from, what I think about it. Sometimes more or less in depth of why I'm buying this. And so my patrons are able to come along with me in real time and get in on the same deals that I'm getting. Third, you get the ability to message me over on Patreon and I will respond to you. And this has really been the most surprising part of the program for the nearly 3 years I've run the Patron program now. It's the people who come over and ask questions, who they are and what they ask has been the most amazing thing. Like financial managers and business owners and all these amazing questions about, what they're doing and what my take on it is and stuff like that. It's been the most surprising part of it. So fourth, I occasionally make additional posts on top of the real-time buy notices and the monthly newsletter. I'll make additional posts of maybe exceptional deals that I see. If it's a very small quantity available for the deal, I'll just put it there for my patrons. When we were previously in a bear market, say end of 23, and then, prices really didn't start to rise in earnest until the beginning of 24, in those earlier times, I did a lot more posts like that because there were a lot more exceptional cases of all of a sudden a card store realizes it's about to go out of business and it has to dump hard to survive. And when you come across something like that, and I could give that to my patrons to get in on exceptional deals. If we go into a bear market here in the coming months, like we appear to be doing in the TCG world, then probably there will be more instances of that again. Sometimes I put up additional videos over there that I do not publish to YouTube. Typically, it's of the kind of thing where I'll find some other YouTuber and I'll be kind of responding to what he says, but I don't want to put it over on YouTube because I'm not trying to start beefs with people. So I'll just put it there and just let my patrons see it. Now, as far as buying sealed product from me, if you are in the US, you can buy sealed product from me. I used to ship internationally occasionally. I don't anymore because the postal treaties all have value limits that basically get customs involved long before you get up to the amounts of value that I'm typically shipping. If I sell you 3 Modern Horizons 3 collector boxes and it's $1,200, that's way above the value limit for our postal treaty with Canada, and it has to go through a different method that gets customs involved and is much more expensive, a much bigger headache. So I don't ship internationally anymore. So the 2 types of sales I do, I have a monthly sales list I post at the beginning of the month. I put products up there at market price, and then I just leave the price alone. And I have a shelf in my office where I have a certain amount of the product that I've allocated for the monthly sale. It sits there until it sells out, and then it's gone. And so what will generally happen is the first month, everyone kind of ignores it because, well, it's at market price. And then the second month, well, the new market price has moved past what I posted it as. So maybe it's $20 off now. And, I'll start to get a couple people who buy and they'll kind of nibble. And then as time goes on, eventually people will start to realize, hey, that box on the monthly sales list, it's now $60, $80, $100 below market price. And generally what happens is I update the monthly list for a new month. That gets everybody to look at it again, and people will realize there's those kind of huge discounts on the things that are a few months old, and a couple of people will come in and buy me out real quick. So that's kind of the way it works. Generally, I have Magic and Pokemon available on there, but no promises. I could imagine putting all kinds of weird stuff on there eventually. And lastly, there are the sealed sales. Sealed sales are held on Thursday nights. They run for 24 hours or until I sell out. And at the beginning of the year, I promised I would run one a month. So far, I've managed to run one every 2 weeks. I think I can continue that, though I don't promise it. I promise you one a month. But I have more than enough product of my own and belonging to whales and investors that I work with who provide product at steep discounts for me to continue that once every 2 week pace for the rest of the year. I think that sometime over the summer, I'm going to be able to move to one every week. So stay tuned for that. But again, I promise you one a month, and I'm delivering one every 2 weeks. Now, the pricing on those sales, I try to, and I almost always achieve, giving at least $20 off the market price per box. And then if you buy higher quantity, you get a bigger discount per box. Sometimes I have all the way up to factory sealed master cases. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have a huge amount to sell, way more than I could possibly sell. And sometimes I have just a little bit and I cap it at 1 to 2 boxes per sale or something like that. So it just depends on where I'm getting it. If it's coming from a whale with a huge amount of inventory, if it's coming from an investor who has a moderate amount of inventory, 2 or 3 cases of something, and they're looking to get rid of it without a headache. So those are the kind of deals that I run. Occasionally, I cannot give you at least $20 per box off. But in those cases, if you order 2 or 3 boxes, somewhere around there, I can get it down to at least $20 per box off. Because what I'm trying to offer is if you pay me $20 a month to be a patron, then if you buy 1 box a month, you break even, assuming you get no value out of anything else that I do. So that's the way that I run it, and I don't see a reason to change that. It's working very well. I'm getting good reception from my patrons, and everything's going great with it. So the sealed sales will continue. The next one will be this upcoming Thursday. What's that, like the 17th? So you'll see what the product is. It'll be probably at least $20 per box off with greater discounts at higher quantities, and I may have up to factory sealed master cases available. So sometimes I can tell you what the product is far in advance. Sometimes I don't know until the day of the sale. It just depends. Again, I'm working with a bunch of other people who basically have their own large inventories, and the deals we have are they give me a big discount. I'm able to pass some of those savings on to my patrons. The patrons get to buy at a cheap price, and everybody is happy, and the people providing the product to me get to move a lot of product without a headache. So it's working out really well. If you want to join, $20 to join. The one warning I give you, if you leave the Patron program, you cannot come back. And the reason for that is I am here for the long term, and I've been here for 4 years now, growing the channel, growing the business, growing my inventory, growing my contacts, growing the Patron program, growing all of it. And I'm on a path where probably in the next 1 to 3 years, I'm going to retire from my professional career, open a store, and do this full time because things are growing at such a good rate. So I'm here for the long term, and I'm looking for customers who are here for the long term, serious buyers who want to have a long-term trusted relationship and get great deals on great products through the Patron program. And so I don't want people who want to play games with leaving for a couple of months because they don't think there's anything they'll be interested in, and then when they hear that there's a sale they'll be interested in, they rush and they sign back up again. I'm looking for people who are as committed to the long term of this as I am. So if that sounds good to you, for $20 a month, monthly newsletters, real-time buy notifications, talking with me, additional posts, monthly sales lists, and the sealed sales at least once a month, maybe up to once a week coming this summer. So go over to Patreon and sign up. Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my very generous supporters on Patreon, of which you could become one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.